Today, we're going to talk about something that might feel, well, deeply personal. It's an experience that a lot of us have gone through, but maybe never really had a name for. We're going to explore what happens inside your mind when you feel like you're consistently the second choice. So let's just start with the question that gets right to the heart of it all. What actually happens to your mind, to your internal wiring, when you find that you're always accepted, but only after someone else was picked first? If that question hits home for you, I want you to know you are definitely not alone, and there's a very real reason you feel the way you do. You see, this isn't just some vague feeling you have. It's a real, recognized pattern. So for our first part, let's dive into the psychology of exclusion. We need to understand the foundation of this whole experience. So, believe it or not, this whole experience actually has a name. It's called chronic social exclusion. This is what happens when you have this recurring pattern of feeling accepted, sure, but just never prioritized. It's not about being an outcast. It's about being the fallback, the plan B. And just knowing that is such a huge first step because it reframes the whole thing. It's not a personal failure. It's a complex social dynamic that you've had to learn to navigate.
Okay, so if this keeps happening, how does your mind adapt? How does it handle this constant state of being the almost? Let's take a look at the mind's built-in defense system and see exactly how your brain responds to protect itself.
Your brain, right? It's this incredible survival machine. So it develops a really specific set of tools to cope. There are three core impacts that tend to show up: rejection sensitivity, a deep-seated fear of being temporary, and a hyper-awareness of social signals. And remember, these aren't flaws, not at all. They are your mind's very clever adaptations.
Let's break that first one down. Rejection sensitivity. Now, this is so much more than just feeling bad when someone rejects you. It's this heightened emotional response. Your brain is constantly scanning, it's primed to expect rejection and to detect even the tiniest signs that you might be getting pushed away. It's kind of like having an emotional smoke detector that's just set way, way too high, all to avoid the pain of being left behind again.
And that sensitivity, of course, leads directly into the next adaptation, this fear of being temporary. This isn't just general insecurity, it's a persistent, nagging anxiety that the relationships and the acceptance you do have, well, they're not permanent. It's actually the logical conclusion your mind comes to based on past experiences, right? And it can lead you to hesitate before you fully invest your heart. Because why would you if you're expecting it all to disappear? But here's where it gets really fascinating. A defense mechanism like this can actually turn into a kind of superpower, and that's hyper-awareness. This is the ability to notice the absolute slightest shifts in someone's tone of voice, their body language, or the dynamics of a group that, honestly, most people would completely miss. You've essentially become a master at reading the room because at one point, your emotional safety depended on it.
So, okay, if you have a brain that's wired this way, super sensitive to rejection, afraid of things being temporary, and hyper-aware of every little social cue, what does it start to value the most? Well, this wiring creates a really crucial shift in what you prioritize. It leads you to value loyalty far more than intensity.
Your brain is essentially looking at two different options. On one hand, you've got intense affection, the fireworks. It's powerful, it's thrilling, but it's often super unpredictable, and it carries a really high risk of instability and hurt. But then, on the other hand, you have consistent loyalty. It might not have the same crazy highs, but it's a predictable, stable foundation that gives you this deep, deep sense of safety. And for a brain that has learned that love can be unstable, safety becomes the ultimate prize. That just makes sense. All right, we've gone through the psychology, the adaptations, the shift in what you value. But where does all of this actually leave you? Now we're going to flip the script and reframe everything we've talked about by looking at your unseen strengths. Because this right here is the final and I think the most important validation.
You can draw a straight line here. It's pure cause and effect. That experience of unstable affection, of being the second choice, it directly builds this incredible adaptation of deep independence. You learned how to rely on yourself because you absolutely had to. And that history of feeling temporary, it forges a quiet, resilient emotional strength that is so rare and so incredibly powerful.
And that brings us to the most crucial thing I want you to walk away with today. Your emotional strength is not a sign that you are unlovable. It is not a flaw. It is a beautiful, powerful adaptation to love that just felt unstable. It's the architecture you built to survive, and now it's the very foundation of your strength. Please never forget that.